Hey everybody, Rob here at etrailer.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the CURT T-connector vehicle wiring harness on our 2017 Ford Explorer. Now our CURT T-connector harness is going to provide us with a 4-pole flat trailer connector, so we have all the required lights to get down the road safely, like your stop lights, your turn signals, and even your tail lights. I do want to mention we have ours mounted to our hitch using a 4-pole bracket. Now if your hitch doesn't have a spot to mount it, you can still use the 4-pole bracket. You may just need to pick up a no drill bracket in addition, but I think it just gives it a cleaner look and really easy to access when we need to. Now it's going to provide us with a dust cover because our wiring is designed to stay on the outside, so it'll make sure all that dirt, debris, and grime stays out of our connectors, and we shouldn't have any kind of issues when it comes to connections, so we can just hook up to our trailer and hit the road. Now one of my favorite parts about the wiring is how easy it is to install. It's just going to have a simple connector at the back of our bumper. We're just going to unplug that, plug in a connector in line with it, and then just run it over the edge. We're not going to have to mess with our tail lights. We're not going to have to cut or splice anything. It's just going to plug into a factory port. In fact, it's so easy. Let's go ahead and walk through everything. To begin our installation, we want to come to the very back of our Explorer, and we're going to move over to the passenger side, just on the outside of the muffler. Now, right on the outside of the body here, we should have 2 factory plugs. We want to bring our attention to the black plug, or the one that's going to be closest to the front of the vehicle. We need to separate the connector here. Now, this has got a lot of dirt, debris, and mud on it, so I'm going to use a screwdriver to press in on the tab right here. At the same time, I'm going to pull down on the connector, hopefully separating it. A lot of times, though, when you get a lot of dirt and debris, the connectors want to stick together pretty well. And it is a little difficult to get them apart. But again, you just want to use a screwdriver or something to give you a little more leverage. Push in on that tab and then squeeze and pull the connectors apart. So we want to grab our new harness, and the connectors on the end of our harness are going to match the ones that are on our factory one. Before I plug them in though, I am going to put a little bit of dielectric grease in both the connectors, and this will just hopefully help out with any kind of corrosion buildup on the inside, keeping all that moisture out. I suggest putting dielectric grease on any kind of connector that you take apart. If you need some, you can pick some up here at etrailer.com. Just fill up the connectors, find the matching one, and plug them in. And we can plug in the other one, make sure that locks in. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dust cover over my 4-pole connector. Now if you're not using a bracket, you can zip tie all your excess wire. You can actually use the dust cover to attach it to your hitch, so when you're going down the road it won't be hanging down. But since we are going to be using our cover, I always like to put the cover on first. Then I'll take my 4-pole, and the small little tabs here are going to fit into the bracket. We just need to work it back and forth until the top and bottom are sticking through, and that compression fit is what's going to keep it in place. So we're just going to go back, zip tie up all the excess wire here, and then we can test our wiring to make sure everything works properly. Now I went ahead and plugged in my 4-pole tester, and you can find these here at etrailer.com. I suggest using a tester to test your wiring rather than plugging into your trailer, because if there's a problem on the trailer, we're not going to be able to isolate just our wiring and see if it's working. But now that we have our tester plugged in, I'm going to grab an extra set of hands, run through our lights, and verify that they're all working. So if I turn on my headlights, we can see that my tail light function is working, as well as my left turn signal, my right turn signal, and my brakes. But now that we know that our trailer wiring is working, that'll finish up your installation and your look at the CURT T-connector vehicle wiring harness on our 2017 Ford Explorer.